All right, everybody, here we are, Apple One-to-One back here. We appreciate you guys coming out and listening to this great video. Here to talk about what happened at the Apple event. And me and Frank, we are former Apple Store employees. We have a total combination of over 20 experience in the Apple Store. And our thoughts are basically from that of a perspective of an Apple Store employee, because every time that there's an Apple event, you know that no one's going to help you at the Apple Store because they're busy looking on the Apple TV, watching the keynote live. So definitely, if you know there's an Apple event going on in that store, do not attend that. It will not happen. You will not see anybody. But I am Will TLD, the former Apple specialist, creative, and genius. Along with me is the former Apple creator, retired book publisher, soccer mom recorder, Jurassic Park owner, the black keto, I messed that up, the black coffee drinker, juror number 12, the retirement home president, Mr. Frank Funk.
Hey, how are you? Well, good to be here.
That's right.
Good to be anywhere.
It's good to be anywhere right now, right? You know, the Apple stock decided to jump up like 7 points in a day, making us trillions of dollars. No, that's right. So we're here to give our overall thoughts of the entire Apple event. We thought we wanted to provide the feedback and see what basically happened and really just talk about what our thoughts are. You can look up the specs and all that stuff there. We know what all that is. There are many other channels. It's really just our perspective from what Apple announced, how we feel as Apple, former Apple employees, of what we would like, what we didn't like announced. So Frank, I'll just start off right away. We'll talk about the things that you liked on the keynote, what you really liked about it. I'll bring up my stuff, and then we'll throw some negatives that we don't like about it.
I thought that the length of this event was perfect. I mean, it was a little under an hour, and they got right to the heart of the matter. They talked a little bit about the Vision Pro and how it's being used. That was interesting. And the people, they talked, again, a lot about the chips that they're using, the technical specs of the chips, which, I get is good. But I think for the average person, it's like, all right, let's go. Let me see the device. So I thought it was perfect length. They really cut to the chase, and they had a lot of positive things to say about the new iPads that were released, and I pretty much liked them.
Is there any particular thing that would draw you to the iPads that came out? I mean, let's first say, we have two iPads technically. We have an iPad Air, which is now in two sizes, and then, of course, the iPad Pro design that's been completely redesigned with an M4 chip in there, which was a little bit of a surprise. I don't think we were expecting that.
I really like the iPad Pro versions. I like the fact that you can have up to 4 cameras in Final Cut now. They also in
that's not necessarily an iPad Pro feature though. That's an iPad. Anyone with the M1 has that feature, and they're coming out soon. But Final Cut features and the Logic features are not just tied down to this Pro. So really, I'm trying to find out is what about the Pro? Besides, like that, I mean, they went crazy with the thinness of the design, which was really cool. I think that was I don't think anybody was asking for the thinnest Apple product in the world, but they made it. The M4 chip design and the OLED combination, which I think was really, that's to me, it's not about what this product is doing. It's about what they will do with the other products that this will introduce to. Because I'm talking about the OLED screen for the Mac Pro. The M4 chip design obviously is different than the M2 and M3. That's what I am looking forward to, is what Apple creates after this iPad, not necessarily this iPad. Because what does this iPad have that no other iPad doesn't have that you can do work on?
Well, nothing really. I mean, it's
right.
all.
That's my point.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But still, it's you could say the same about the phones. It's just that it's bigger, faster, better screens, better processors, and they're creating new innovative software from Apple and third parties to utilize the capacity of the chips.
It's true. That's a fact. And then we had the new Magic Keyboard design. They're trying to make it look like a Mac, and then the iPad, the Apple Pencil. I'll tell you what I liked about it. I definitely, like I said, the iPad Pro for me is about what this setup can do later on down the line. Obviously, I'm a Final Cut fan. I haven't used the iPad version of Final Cut except one time. It was very difficult to work with, I'll be honest. The idea of doing live multicam is tremendous. I think that's a
Yeah.
great tool for someone to have. And I think like in a production environment, I would if I was directing things, I would love to play with that. Most of the time behind the camera though. But Final Cut camera is also what that's doing for me is that it's competing against Blackmagic, which came out with their own controllable app.
Right.
Final
Right.
Cut Camera is going to do that feature, which I hope it includes everything that it does, and maybe it's a little bit easier than Blackmagic is. Blackmagic's a little tough to work with
Uh-huh.
sometimes, but I really hope it has some really good advanced features that the video people would actually use. So I'm really excited for and this is good for anybody, so but which is great. So I'm very happy for that, and I'll get to try. Hopefully, it comes out in time before my subscription expires. I want to try it out before that happens.
Yeah. The other thing is in the Logic Pro also has an added feature now where it will take a song and break it out into individual tracks for you.
Yeah, you need to get Logic and do that. I would love to see that in action.
Now, like I said, I'm using another app to do that. It's called Oasis, which takes any song that you own and you can upload it, breaks it out into 4 separate tracks, and then you can export those tracks, import them into Logic, which is what I'm doing, and then recording my drums on 7 different tracks, mixing it all down, and then outputting one M4 file.
So that'll definitely save you some steps.
Yes.
Yeah, I definitely want to try the Final Cut camera, Final Cut app. I want to give it another shot. It's just I want to be able to seamlessly work on, like if I put everything on the external drive, I want to be able to plug it directly into the M1. I have an iPad now, which is the M1 Air, and I want to be able to work with it in that environment if I can.
Yeah, I mean, I'm anxious to see that multi-camera function, see how it works, because one of the things that people have been asking me to do on my videos is to show the handwork and from behind the drums as well as in front of the drums. So to be able to incorporate that all into one production, I think would be really, really nice.
Some features I liked is that the iPad lineup is now very much streamlined. We now got rid of the 9th gen with the Lightning connector. The 10th gen is properly at the right price now. It was the $449 for that device was beyond ridiculous. So I'm very happy they got rid of that. So now we have a $349 iPad 10th gen. That is the correct price this should be at. And now it makes me interested in getting that next one, or there might be some really good discounts for the 9th gen right now. So the pricing structure is great. The $599, $799 for the 13-inch Air. I think a 13-inch Air would be fine for most people. I really don't see a reason to get a pro-designed iPad, but I want to feel the weight of that, because the fact that that's not as a pound, that's crazy. To think that all this power, all of this tech is in this device that's so thin and it can only weigh a pound. Because my biggest gripe for iPads when they first came out was always the weight. And this, that weight size is just like unreal to me. The Apple Pencil Pro, the technology in that, the squeeze feature built in there, the Find My feature on that. And then the fact that I know a lot of people with Wacom tablets, they like to do that twist with the pointing of the pen, the brush. And now that it has that, it's almost like moving people away from using one of those tablets now.
Yep.
That was a pretty good idea. Those some really good ideas in there.
Some of the things they did with Procreate in the demo, where you don't have to go to the menu to select the level you want to work with.
Right.
That I thought was pretty cool.
I think that's all because of that squeezable feature built in there is going to be it's going to be very, very powerful for that. Now, the things that I don't like personally about this, we have 4 pencils now.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, that's a lot of pencils, man. Like one pencil, which by the way doesn't even exist. If anyone buys that Lightning one now at this point, you're dumb.
Yeah.
But we have a USB-C one now, and now we have a second gen one now, and the second gen one doesn't work with the new iPads. And then the Pencil Pro works with the new one, but it doesn't work with the old ones. It's like it's like such a confusing mess.
I was kind of hoping that they would.
They should have discounted the Lightning one down to $49 or something.
I was kind of hoping they would just come out with one pencil that works with
everything,
all of them. I mean, even if they had to make it longer to fit all the electronics in, who cares?
Yeah, that pencil thing is just so odd. I don't understand it. The iPad Mini is still there. They mentioned it so quickly, but they didn't change anything about it. It's I think it was $4.99 for that one.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, come on, man. No, don't buy that. Just don't buy that, everybody. Around that, the new Magic Keyboard now has the function row. That was a cool feature, and apparently it's a lot lighter from what people have said. So overall, like when it comes to this keynote, it was a fun keynote. I like it. Even the Apple Pencil, what's really cool. The boxes have different designs on the boxes. I saw that was really kind of neat. With that, but I hope people are not going to be too upset when they open their iPad. They look around the box and they're looking for the one thing that they really bought this product for, and that was the Apple stickers, because they're not going to be there.
Yeah, the Apple stickers are on their way out.
Yep. So you're going to start seeing no more Apple stickers. So save them, everybody, because I don't think they're going to be around too much longer.
Well, we can do a promo on our channel because I have a bunch of them, and maybe we'll do a promo.
Yeah. Well, hey, if you would like Frank to send you a Apple sticker, you let us know. Just email us at Think Different Pod.
Send me a $25 self
donation
addressed envelope. And
I'll produce a $25 donation on our YouTube channel would be very helpful for us. Now let's get to the bottom line, Frank. Is there any iPad that you really want to buy out of all this? Now, do you have an iPad now?
I do. I have two. I have the 10th gen, and then I have, when I retired, I bought an iPad Pro with the USB
C
pencil, USB-C pencil, yes. And that one, my wife uses that. I use the 10 now, and I think I would like to get the 11-inch Pro.
Really?
Yeah, not so much for the pencil, because I found I really don't use the pencil. Okay. But I would like to get it for the capability of the Final Cut and Logic.
Well, remember, you can do that on the Air too, so don't think you're out of it on the Air. So, that's the one thing you have to think about is what you're ordering going to be worth that value. Is spending like the highest, I think it's like $3,000. Like if I went and ordered like the highest one right now. So I'm going to do it right now. So I'm going to do 11-inch. It's a
11-inch.
11-inch. We'll do 256, or would you go higher?
No, 1 terabyte.
Oh, you're going to upgrade. So you get the higher RAM, because that's another thing too they mentioned, and this is a very unique thing. The M4, depending on the storage size, changes the RAM and everything inside of it, and the cores as well. So that's something to know about. They also have the option to get a nano texture glass. Man, just buy one of those sheet things and put it on there for $20. Don't buy their nano texture glass. Wi-Fi version, right? We're not going to go with okay.
No cellular.
No Apple Pencil, right?
No Apple Pencil.
All right.
No. Now the keyboard I can buy at any time. So I
think the keyboard though there is some value to that keyboard. I think it'll improve your experience, especially like if you want to do shortcuts on your Logic. So do you want to do your Magic Keyboard? You want to wait on that?
And
let's throw it in because it's fun.
Like you mentioned, it does have the F keys on it.
Yes.
I know you're a big fan of those.
Love me some effing keys, man. And then, of course, no trade-in, because we don't have that.
No trade-in.
So your total with the Magic Keyboard and everything, and that's not including AppleCare, by the way.
Yeah, which is only $179 though.
It's $149.
Oh, okay, $149.
It's $1,898 to buy that iPad.
Yep.
Wow. I just want to point that out right now that is $1,898 for a 11-inch tablet.
What else you got to spend your money on?
Well, you could have got the Vision Pro to improve our channel numbers, but you didn't want to do that.
Well, yeah, you're
So,
right. CFO said I could have got it, So,
yeah. So, I mean, I guess I don't know. I mean, I'd call an Apple employee immediately. Get that 15%.
yeah, yeah,
I mean, personally, I think that down the line, I'm going to get the 10 gen. Right now, my son uses like a 6 gen iPad. I think it's close to that time to upgrade, but I have an M1 Air. I have no plan on at all to upgrade that. So I'm not going to be getting any Pro. I can tell you that right now. I would like to test out the features of now. If I feel like it's running sluggish and maybe if I have a use for it, then maybe I would definitely upgrade it. But beyond that, no. I mean, a 10th gen right now for me would be the next purchase that I would make, and that's really to replace my old iPad.
yeah. Well, I don't know that I'm going to go get it right away. I'm looking to see what happens with the phone at WWDC.
And that's another thing to talk about is and they talk a lot about AI. AI. So remember, everything went from machine learning to
Yeah.
AI, right? That's
Yep.
what they changed their terminology because that's a sexy word right now. AI. In fact,
Yeah.
the song that opened up this video was made by AI. That's right.
There you
So
go.
so I put the lyrics in and they made the song. It sounds great. It's awesome. I'm very happy with it. And I couldn't believe I made that using AI. That is just a tremendous thing. AI is great. I don't care what anybody says. I'd rather have AI than not have AI. We're going to see with the iPad Pro software if iPadOS changes. I don't know if it's going to. I mean, personally, until they start offering an option that makes it look like have different users and make it feel more of an OS that's like Mac OS. I don't think anything is going to change until that day happens. The tablet will stay a tablet until it turns into a touchable multi-user into an actual Mac OS version that's like a hybrid. Until we get a hybrid of that, it stays as a tablet. There are definitely things that an iPad could do much easier than using your Mac can. That is for sure. I think checking mail is easier. I think doing calendar stuff is easier. I think using Siri is easier. Like there are things on a tablet and a phone that can easily do better. Like I said, app development is sometimes better on these devices. There are certain things that you will like better.
Well, the beauty of the infrastructure that Apple has created is that you can use the device that you feel most comfortable with, and all of that information you're inputting is available to you on all of your devices, whether it's a Mac Studio, a MacBook Pro, an iMac, an iPad, an iPhone. That's the beauty of the infrastructure. So, and that's one of the primary reasons that I got into the Apple bus. I enjoy the fact that no matter what Apple product I get, I know it's going to work seamlessly with all of the others. And that every time I look for or purchase something from the Apple Store or the App Store, I know it's been scrutinized to meet Apple's high standards.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to go out to a third party, buy an app, only to find out that it's not 100% compatible. Right. There's nothing more frustrating than that for me.
No, you're right. Yeah. You're absolutely right. By the way, if you want to buy the highest without buying the pencil or the keyboard, and you want to buy the 13-inch iPad Pro, you better drop some money, everybody, because it's going to be $2,600 plus tax.
Come on, what are you talking about? That's 0% financing or 2 years. Come on,
3% on the Apple Card.
Come on, it's nothing.
Overall, Frank, did you enjoy the keynote? You thought, like, I thought, again, there were some impressive moments of it. Definitely, there's not products on there I want to buy. I definitely want to stick with what I got now. I'm not going to upgrade yet, but I would say a 10th gen is going to be in my future at some point, either this year or maybe I'll wait till about Black Friday time. But I definitely see right now, I'm looking forward to what features on that iPad Pro can go into these computers and do
Right,
some amazing
right.
things.
I
And
mean,
that's what I'm looking forward to. Beyond that, this was whatever keynote for me. It was
I,
fine.
I think the keynote was good. I think it brought out some features of these new products that I'm anxious to see. Um, did I get on the phone and order them? No,
No.
but I'm anxious to see them. I want to touch it, feel it, see how they work. And like I said, I have high hopes for the Final Cut and Logic. I'm anxious
Yeah.
to see how they work.
That was to me the biggest surprise. And then honestly, if I had to pick my favorite product that they announced, it'd be the Apple Pencil. I honestly thought like the features they're putting in that pencil are going to be
Oh, yeah.
so valuable for
If you
people.
sir,
And it's
if
not
you
even a
have,
product I would use. And they kept the price like the same, which is great.
yes,
You know,
yes.
that so I thought like that was extremely fair. I thought everything about that Pencil Pro, I think that's going to fly off the shelves.
Yeah.
The
I
only,
if
but you can't use it, but you got to buy a new iPad again. So
Yeah, well, if you're of that artistic slant and you draw, you paint, you whatever, design, I think it's excellent. You know, so it's made a lot of innovations. It's moving forward, and like you said, with coming down the road with AI, who knows how that's going to interact with it. All in all, I thought it was a very informative event.
me too. Well, I want to thank you guys for joining us here on this podcast edition of our channel. We appreciate all the feedback you're giving us, all the questions that you're asking us on our channels for all of our different videos. Please subscribe and like us. We really do appreciate it. Definitely. We're trying to create more training videos that you guys are enjoying, things that you're requesting. So request them, please. Even at the bottom
Yeah.
of the comments, request things that you want us to do. We can only, a lot of times, a lot of the questions that we're getting asked are really more so about like trying to do something, but we need your document to see what you're doing sometimes.
Right.
It's not easy to text out some of the things you're writing. So you guys can there are so many ways you can send us the files on Facebook, on Instagram. Just send us the files and we'll look at them. We have no problem doing that.
Yeah.
You did a golf one recently that we have the document available for you to download and look at. So definitely, utilize the features that we're offering to you. But if you have a question about something, please let us know. Frank, do you have anything you want to say before we head out?
Nope. That's it. I'm good.
All right, everybody. Well, thank you very much for joining us for this podcast here on Apple One-to-One Trading. And I love every single one of you.
See you next time.